All right. Hey YouTube, I'm Lucky, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about this new exotic that the Warlocks have, the Secant filaments, and we actually found something really interesting about this. You can actually have like double champion mods with one weapon, and I'll go over that in just a minute, which is something that you've never been able to do before, from my recollection. For example, like with Ariana's Vow, you have like anti-barrier, but you can't have unstoppable hand cannon. There's a way where you can actually have both, not with the Ariana's Vow, but with other weapons. So before we jump into that, though, we're going to read the exotic perk on it. Casting an Empowering Rift will grant you Devour. So obviously, if you're on a Warlock, if you're on Void, you can't cast the Empowering Rift and you'll get Devour. Most of you know how that works. Very strong ability already alone. But the secondary perk is actually really nasty for PvE, and we're going to demonstrate it in a minute here. Damage dealt by you and your allies from within your Empowering Rift will disrupt combatants, and that will actually mess up overloads. So we've got this guy here, Overload Minotaur, and what Dwayne will do is he'll throw his Empowering Rift down, and you'll notice that if I jump in his Empowering Rift, I can actually stun him with this hand cannon, and obviously there's no Overload hand cannon. So like you can see I've got the buff on the side there, Overload shot. As I leave it, I lose it, which is really cool. And what I can also do is even as I stunned him right there, I'll point this out, which I have Unstoppable hand cannon on. So if he wasn't unstoppable, I could ADS, and I could also unstop same champion with the same weapon, so keep that in mind. But if I go into his Empowering Rift and I ADS until I have unstoppable, you'll notice that it doesn't stun him anymore, so keep that in mind. I would actually just have to do a hipfire shot. So because the hand cannon has a duality, because it's not an exotic one like Ariana's Vow, it has like the duality of being an unstoppable hand cannon and a non-unstoppable hand cannon by hipfiring. And so in doing so, I can actually single-handedly stop two different champions with the same weapon, which is something that I've never seen before. So it's actually really sick and a really big advantage to using this. Not to mention, if you look in your artifact right now, this is bugged right here. Overload rounds for auto rifle and SMG is bugged. It was tweeted out by BUNGIE. So to have this these exotic boots for your Warlock is really, really strong right now for taking out any sort of overload champion. So keep that in mind. Super powerful. And what you can do is you can put down your Rift with different classes. You don't have to be Void. With Devour, you can actually be on Well of Radiance. He's on a Solar subclass right now, and if I were to hop into his, you'll see right here I can still stun him. So it doesn't have to be a Void, although a Void is probably a little more advantageous with Devour. However, in certain endgame activities, you want that health, you want that Well of Radiance, and you can rock that instead and still stun champions like crazy. It doesn't have to be a hand cannon either. It could be any weapon. Anything that does damage, a rocket, machine gun, anything that deals damage will stun these champions, any weapon. And that's really sick. That's actually something we've never seen before. So very exciting exotic, and something that will certainly be meta for endgame PvE content, in my opinion. So that's a wrap on this video. Make sure to subscribe if you enjoyed. Smash the like button. I'll see you in the next one. Later.